Oh, Jamie Vardy, well, it had to be, didn't it? 500th Leicester appearance. Vardy scoring his 200th Leicester goal in their win against already relegated Ipswich. Leicester boss Ruud van Nistelrooy claimed after the game that Vardy still has some football left in him. That's good of him.
You can see him, the way what he produces still in this season for us. And the numbers speaks for itself, and also this season.
Some football left in him. I think Jamie Vardy would certainly say he's got plenty of football left in him. Let's get more on this now. Great time to say good morning to talkSPORT's Midlands correspondent and Leicester City fan, Geoff Peters. Morning, Geoff.
Good morning, Geoff.
Very good morning to you. How are you, boys?
Yeah, good.
Very well.
Before we go into what Vardy's got left in the tank, why are Leicester actually parting company with him?
Well, he wants to leave. I think it's as simple as that. He described recently the season as being pretty terrible. His words were an absolute show. And, he's absolutely right. The direction of the club it hasn't gone in the way that he would want. I think that he said to the club, don't offer me a new contract. This is the right time for me to bow out. And it's very sad for supporters, but Jamie Vardy believes that he can still deliver on the top stage, and I think he's absolutely right that he can.
I think so. Proof of that yesterday, Geoff. I mean, there's some things were just written in stone, and he was going to score yesterday. I mean, he was always going to score. Now, the fact that you've said that, and he was openly critical of himself and the club for last season, which he was absolutely spot on. But something tells me that he's got something organised, whether it's America or another club. I think he'll have something organised. Now, we were in the discussion yesterday, me and my Rangers mates. I would take him in 2 minutes at Rangers, Geoff. I really, really would. I'd take him in 2 minutes. But something tells me that he's got something organised for next season.
Do you think that maybe he's got something, even higher lined up than maybe Rangers, like maybe Celtic?
Steady on, Geoff. Geoff, steady on. Now, it's a Monday morning, mate. Just calm down.
Can you imagine? A mate did text me actually last night and went, I could see him playing at Celtic. And I'm thinking, imagine if he scored in an Old Firm game and he started giving all the grief to the opposition fans. That really wouldn't go down well. Has he got something lined up? Nobody knows. Nobody's saying anything at the moment, but he will not be short of suitors. Yeah. I think there's a number of clubs in the Premier League that could use Jamie Vardy, not necessarily as a starter every week. Hey, listen, Arsenal are looking for a striker, aren't they? You can imagine him sort of coming off the bench last 20, 30 minutes in games with the pace that he's got. He's still got pace to burn. He still knows the way to goal. He's still got a lot to offer. And, yesterday was bittersweet, very sad for a lot of Leicester fans who have obviously enjoyed those sort of 12, 13 years that he's been there, but really delighted that he managed to get that goal to make it, game 500, goal 200, sort of a beautiful, tidy bow at the end of his brilliant Leicester career.
Look, Geoff, he looks as fit as a butcher's dog to me, and I think he can certainly still do a job in the Premier League. Where does that leave Leicester, by the way? As a Leicester fan, how worried are you about the future? I mean, how do you replace someone like Vardy?
Well, I think you don't replace him. I think he is irreplaceable. He is the all-time great for Leicester. Obviously, a couple of players have played more games for the club than him. A couple of players have scored more goals from him, but nobody has had more impact at the club than Jamie Vardy. Premier League winner, FA Cup winner, Golden Boot winner, etc. Icon. Whoever comes in as a striker and wears that number 9 shirt, it might weigh heavily on them. It might inspire them. I don't think we're going to see the likes of Jamie Vardy again. Just an incredible, brilliant, just a leader, an absolute leader. He wasn't in the early days, but he grew into it. It was superb. So what do Leicester do? Well, they're going to be in the Championship. It's going to be a different ball game, and I just don't think you can replace Jamie Vardy, but somebody has to come in and try and score the goals to, they'll be hoping to get back to the Premier League.
Jeff, just a quick one, mate. I was looking at it there. I know we've got to go to a break. It was interesting. 200 goals for Jamie Vardy, Jeff. First goal for Casey McAteer.
Yeah, there was talk that Casey McAteer might have been sold in the January window. He has had interest from other clubs, but he has featured in the past 2 or 3 games. Young player, come through the system, and you've got the likes of Jeremy Monger, who's 15, and Jake Evans, who's 16. Both came off the bench yesterday. So there are some positives for the future, but make no mistake, this has been just a dreadful, awful season, and I can't imagine Van Nistelrooy will be in charge come the start of the new season.
Another discussion to be had, I think, that one, Jeff. Personally, I hope I see Vardy in the Premier League again next season. I hope he doesn't go off to the States or anything like that. Jeff, thanks very much indeed.
Cheers, Jeff.
Cheers, boys. Take care.
Right, still to come in the next hour of talkSPORT Breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Find everything you need for your landscaping project in stock and available for delivery. Terms and conditions apply.
Munoz, ball inside the area. Eza! Ability, Eza! Swipes it in.
Crystal Palace ending that 120-year wait for a major trophy by beating City at Wembley in the Cup final. Palace fans, let's hear from you. 03717 223344. Is that one of the greatest moments in your life? How special was the atmosphere? How did you celebrate? Let us know. We want to hear everything this morning. Up next, though, we're going to focus a little on Man City. How big are the problems there, and how easy are they to fix? And that was our look ahead with Travis Perkins. To securing Champions League football with a 1-0 win over Newcastle, Mikel Arteta's challenged Arsenal's board to do what they need to do in the transfer market to become champions next season. As the Gunners boss revealed, 4 or 5 will leave. Gary Lineker will today announce he's leaving the BBC and will not front the 2026 World Cup following anti-Semitism allegations. And Wayne Rooney was amongst the club greats, and there were plenty of them, who joined in Everton's emotional farewell at Goodison Park yesterday. Another former player there, Alan Stubbs, thinks the club will find it hard to replace the stadium's effect.
The design of the new stadium was really important, that the architects tried to emulate that. Obviously, it's very difficult to create a Goodison atmosphere. You look at likes of Highbury when they left, and Arsene Wenger's, I've heard talk about it. It's very different, and we probably will never create that. But what we have to do now, we have to try and create a legacy here at Bramley Moor and create this own atmosphere, whatever that will be. Goodison Park was, if I was an opposition player, and I've spoken to them, they hated Goodison Park. No one liked coming to Goodison Park, and there's only a few left. Don't like saying this, but Anfield is another one. It's got that feeling where the fans feel right on top of you. It's very, very intimidating.
Intimidating, no question about that. But there comes a point where you have to move on, don't you? Because it was dilapidated as well. I say that with all due respect. It was a great ground to go to. Recreating that atmosphere, Coisty, will be different. I guess you've got to take a long-term view, because it means, bigger crowds, more ability to compete. But not everyone, when they've moved grounds, found it easy. I remember Southampton moving to St Mary's, they couldn't win a game. Arsenal going to the Emirates, if you like. Yeah. West Ham to the London Stadium. They've never been able to reproduce the form they had at the Berlin ground.
And it's certainly not, I would argue the point, certainly never created an atmosphere that they had at the Bowling Ground, which was I thought was a special place. I really did. But I take Stubbs' point, but where Stubbs is absolutely spot on. This new stadium will have to create its own atmosphere. I don't think you could ever replicate the atmosphere that they would have had in Goodison. Obviously, we could have a completely new stadium. So, as you correctly say, time stands still for no man. We move on. and they have to move on with an optimistic outlook, looking forward to the future. And there was some, they've got to look forward to some. Yesterday was all about, reminiscing. I felt, Jeff, and thanking the old stadium and the old lady and everybody turning out, the fans turning out, and all those wonderful ex-players, older players turning out. But now is the time to move forward, and the challenge for the Everton Moisey and the Everton team now is to get a product on the park that can give the fans something to cheer, that will create its own, this new stadium's own atmosphere. That's what they've got to do.
Yes, it's a big challenge as far as Everton are concerned, but one I'm sure that they and their fans are very much looking forward to. For more on all the day's biggest stories, head over to talksport.com.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.